We don't know if he was doing the creepy crime, but we do have a cover-up. And just like the cover-up on his face, it is patchy and there's some really ugly under there. The incriminating details just keep coming out. For instance, this resurfaced 2010 Jeffrey Epstein deposition.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights.
Not a great sign when the pedophile is being asked if you're doing a pervert ride-along, and their response is, I'd like to invoke the entire Constitution, the Magna Carta, the Napoleonic Code, and just to cover my bases, let's throw in the entire Cheesecake Factory menu. Just whatever.
In his sharp and unforgiving segment, Stephen Colbert doesn't just mock Trump, he dissects him with surgical satire. Highlighting a resurfaced Epstein deposition, Colbert points to Epstein's refusal to answer whether he socialized with Trump around underage girls, joking that he invoked everything from the Constitution to the Cheesecake Factory menu. The humor underscores a darker truth. Innocent people don't hide behind legal jargon. Colbert then targets Trump directly, comparing the cover-up on his face to the scandal messy, dishonest, and concealing something ugly. The most brutal moment, Epstein allegedly cut ties with Trump for being a crook. When even Epstein wants distance, the implication is devastating. This isn't just late-night comedy, it's a televised takedown cloaked in laughter.
The latest development in this story is that soon we may be able to see Trump's name in those files for ourselves, because last night, in defiance of the president with a Republican majority, the House Oversight Committee voted to subpoena all documents related to the Jeffrey Epstein case in a vote of 8-2. As in, that's big, 8-2, as in, boy, I would 8-2 be Trump right now. The president made a big deal about how he broke off the relationship with Jeffrey Epstein a long time ago. But according to Epstein's brother, Mark Epstein, Jeffrey said he stopped hanging out with Trump when he realized Trump was a crook. Wow! That's extraordinary. Amazing. Jeffrey Epstein breaking it off with you because you're a crook is like walking into an intervention organized by Rudy Giuliani.
In this segment, Stephen Colbert delivers a perfectly timed blow to Donald Trump's already tarnished image. Revisiting Jeffrey Epstein's resurfaced deposition, Colbert highlights the moment Epstein is asked whether he ever socialized with Trump in the presence of underage girls, a question that should have been answered with a simple no. Instead, Epstein invokes multiple constitutional amendments, prompting Colbert to mock the absurdity of such a response by comparing it to hiding behind the Magna Carta, the Napoleonic Code, and even the Cheesecake Factory menu. It's classic Colbert, turning legal evasion into punchline gold, but beneath the laughter lies something far sharper. When Colbert jokes about the cover-up on Trump's face being patchy and hiding something truly ugly, he's not referring to makeup. He's talking about character, the kind of man who surrounds himself with the worst people and then pleads ignorance every time the spotlight shines on him. The satire here cuts deep. If Epstein couldn't deny the connection and Trump keeps ducking accountability, then perhaps the real punchline is how predictably this pattern has become. Colbert doesn't need to shout. He humiliates Trump with precision, laughter, and a cold dose of implication.
I was talking to Jeffrey, and he told me that he was talking to Donald, and he asked Donald, how come you sleep with so many married women? And Donald's answer was, because it's so wrong.
Exactly. No, those are exactly the ethics you want in a president. I mean, who could forget when Ronald Reagan said this?
Mr. Gorbachev, I banged your wife.
I love the little flags. I love the crowd with little flags at the end. Yay! This scandal is costing Trump a lot of allies. The latest to jump ship is the QAnon shaman. This has deep repercussions because when you lose the Q shaman, you inevitably lose Fred, Barney, and the entire Loyal Order of the Water Buffalo. They're gone. In response.
In this blisteringly sarcastic segment, Stephen Colbert exposes the rot beneath Donald Trump's so-called moral leadership by relaying a jaw-dropping anecdote from Jeffrey Epstein's brother. When Epstein asked Trump why he slept with so many married women, Trump reportedly replied, "Because it's so wrong." Colbert seizes on the absurdity of that statement, delivering a satirical gut punch by mocking it as the kind of twisted logic only someone like Trump could turn into a personal code. To drive the point home, Colbert parodies presidential rhetoric with a fictional Reagan quote, "Mr. Gorbachev, I banged your wife," highlighting just how far removed Trump is from any traditional sense of ethics or decorum. Colbert then pivots to the political fallout, noting that even fringe loyalists like the Canaan shaman are abandoning Trump. The satire intensifies as he jokes that when you lose the Q shaman, you also lose Fred Barney and the entire Loyal Order of the Water Buffalo, a hilarious but brutal metaphor for Trump's crumbling base.
Thanks. Over here.
Yeah, let me simply say I've got great confidence in the Texas Democrats in the House and in the Senate to stand up and fight in the best interest of the people that they represent. All across America, over the last 6+ months, we've seen corporations bend the knee, law firms have bent the knee, colleges and universities have bent the knee to Donald Trump. Texas Democrats will not bend the knee. They will stand up for the people that they are privileged to represent.
I think what John is saying is that, and I covered a lot of this over years, legislative fights, elections, etc. I'll paraphrase Texas Democrats. They kind of feel like the fighters of the outlaw. They do their best, but no help is coming. What is different? What help is coming?
I'm here to make clear, as House Democratic leader, in partnership with the Texas congressional delegation, that it's not simply the case that help is on the way, help is here. And we stand with Texas Democrats on behalf of fighting for the quality of life issues around the economy and healthcare and housing and combating corruption that are important to the people of Texas. And Texas Democrats understand that if Republicans are allowed to gerrymander this congressional map, the quality of life of the people of Texas will continue to be undermined. Donald Trump and House Republicans here passed this one big ugly bill that rips away health care from millions of people, including here in Texas. Ends Medicaid as we know it here in Texas. Steals food from the mouths of children, veterans, and seniors here in Texas. Makes it harder for the people of Texas to get a high-quality education here in this great state. So all of these issues are at stake in fighting for a congressional map that gives the people of Texas the ability to choose their elected officials, as opposed to what's happening with this attempt to gerrymander the map and allow Texas politicians on the Republican side to choose their voters.
In a bold and defiant statement, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries declared, "Texas Democrats will not bend the knee," signaling a fierce and organized resistance to the state's controversial redistricting efforts. This isn't just rhetoric, it's a line in the sand. Jeffries' remarks come in response to Republican redistricting maps that critics argue are engineered to dilute minority voting power and entrench GOP dominance for the next decade. By pledging national Democratic support, Jeffries is turning what was once seen as a local legislative maneuver into a broader battle for voting rights and democratic representation.